The one thing I will say that about the tolling structure for the bridge is, for at least it does grandfather in the people who have made commitments to live here and created the community here. So I think there's a way to do that equitably, where we're taking care of the people who are already here. You know, earlier when I talked about making sure that we don't repeat the mistakes of years past by displacing people, that's what I'm talking about. I think the people who are here already, while...
But I think you're opening up another mistake that we haven't done it before. So, sorry to interrupt you for that. But I've been on the island about 22 years now, and been a member of Citizen Advisory Board for at least the last 12 years or so. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've really seen through the changes that the island's gone from the day it was the commission, just about, which I brought in internet services here to the island, and nobody was going to invest in here. And I invested my own hard money in here, which we lost every penny of it. But I've seen all the changes that the island's gone through, different renaissances of the island. So I think one of the things about the toll, you're talking to some of the officials, they use the vocabulary of it's already baked into the contract. And I think we need to change that behavior of using the word baked rather than integrated in order to change our standards of having a much better community here. And if we could change that word rather than it's big, which is integrated, which means there's other solutions that you could include that, and it doesn't have to be there. Now, regarding to what you were saying, that for the tenants and the residents that are here, most of us on the middle class communities, we have to drive and go far to places, San Jose, Palo Alto, someplace all the way to Sacramento, to work, 12-hour shift or whatever. For us, it's not practical to go to, for example, go to the city, take another bus all the way to some places, and here it's already in the congested traffic of 880s and places like that, that now we have to be taxed on top of that. So, and as you mentioned, that it's when I got involved with CAP, this issue came up, but it came up very largely because the issue was actually how we're going to develop the island. And we spent days and sometimes nights is actually discussing about what kind of structures we're going to have, if it's going to be a green technology here. This is started from scratch and from the bottom up. But this idea of the toll became pretty apparent after the construction is already started, and they moved us from Yerba Buena Island. It was part of the group that we used to be in Yerba Buena Island, and they moved us to Treasure Island, and all of a sudden the discussion was it was already baked. But what does it mean by it's baked? It's integrated. Somebody went to New York. I remember the group that went to New York. They came back and they said, well, New York is trying to implement this idea. But that's New York, and besides they have a really great public transportation. And so I think some of the issues here that I've seen is really Treasure Island, as you coming on board now, this is really a representation of a mini country is being developed, because you have all the nuances of the issues and opportunities and a small little island country would have. So congestion is another one. Misplacing, for example, moving the residents from where they live now without any kind of planning or disclosing or transparency to new places. That's another issue that any other cities would have. So the transparency is one issue. Other issues are, for example, like congestion, you say, and these ideas that politically, somebody put it in order to motivate the developers to continue with their idea that we're going to cover some of those costs in future. And that word itself that's baked in, that's where the problem is.
I don't disagree. And I mean,